definitely going to pick first pick and not pick map here when we go into game 2. And that map will be actually it's going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. So that was banned in our first series. We're going to it here from KSV Black. It's their choice. They want to have this small map.
I think this is hinting a lot. They want to bring that false stat again. They used it on this map so many times, and Reset able to fly in and out from top to bottom within that flight range. Has been pretty successful in game 1 also. Works so well against this Genji clone comp, also against the Maiev cage and the wombo combo that could happen later on.
Just basically like anything that you are trying to run that's very combo based or very complicated. Balls are just like, and all the it's you imagine you're playing chess and you've got this complicated setup you've been doing for 8 turns, and then Falstad just blows the chessboard off the table. Sorry, nice, cool, complicated setup, bro. All the pieces are on the floor.
Disqualified.
So, KSV Black's got this lead now. They have the map choice in their hands, but Ballistix is going to have the first pick. This is not the greatest map for Hanzo. It can be good for control of the limited amount of camps we have on this map, and also for boss control. We've seen so many picks of Falstad for KSV Black here too, so I would not expect this draft to look massively different than what we saw in the last one, except that I don't think Phoenix will be given an opportunity to function on this map.
And on a 2-lane map, Avatar clone, they were thinking that it could work against KSV Black again, but Avatar really gained no power when Black was pushing the lane the entire time as a 4-man, 5-man. If that happens for a long time, maybe Avatar gets that advantage for the team, but Black gave no time for that to happen. Okay, Garrosh, man, I'm liking this adjustment. This has been focusing on Garrosh so much in part 2.
Alright, Phoenix is open. Malfurion ban here.
And also Medivh.
This is a great map for Medivh Diablo, but if you take Medivh in first rotation, your opponent can prepare against that. They will also give, with a Medivh pick, the Hanzo to Rich, and potentially the Phoenix to Rich as well, but I think Ballistix needs to make a tough choice here, and I think the tough choice they should make is to pick Hanzo. SC's best hero all season long. Currently, in part 1, he is 20 games played, 16-4, 80% win rate with 20 games played. That is insane.
That sounds like Hanzo.
If you compare Rich on the Hanzo, actually, it's his second most played, 7 games only. Sure, he wasn't playing DPS for a lot of the season, but...
Ooh, first pick Maiev. This is scary. KSV Black should be ready. Look at these picks. The speed.
Taz Tracer. This has been the only map we're seeing really Taz Tracer on. We've seen it a few times by the lower teams on Infernal Shrines, but Tomb of the Spider Queen has been the go-to. Very powerful here. Extra wave clear from the Tastar. You end up going to the double support comp with Tracer that has so much protection. She's so good at harassing, interrupting turn-ins. And Rich's Tracer versus Maiev has been very successful. He hasn't lost against Maiev yet in this matchup.
Of course, it was against the weaker team, but he would stay in that Umbral Bind range. He would barely able to get pulled. If he does, he would just recall out, and then for the cooldown of that recall, he would never be in range. That's a scary thought. He was able to calculate all that and play. And I think that was the Towers of Doom game that he had the crazy number on the hero damage also.
Yeah, it was like 60k
in 12 minutes
like,
or something.
Yeah, like 12 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. It was insane. Stukov coming in here, so they have this and the Tyrael. So basically, this kind of drafting that we're seeing from Ballistix with this comp and the previous one is saying the same thing that Ace said against Blossom earlier.
Yes.
I have the Maiev Warden's Cage, I have the Silence in the cage and the Sank, so you don't have the counter. So I've chosen these 3 top tier heroes. I've chosen the heroes that make this cage perfect. So what are you going to do? And KSV Black is going to adapt in this draft now. They're going to ban the Blaze, it looks like, to control how some of these fights can go so they don't get totally displaced by all the CC inside of the cage. Looks like they're moving away from it, though, for a Sonya ban now. I think both of these bans are pretty reasonable. So, Sonya works better with Tyrael than Blaze does in terms of sustainability and damage.
She can dive in and, of course, have that wave clear. Also, the camp times pretty good. Looking for that Hanzo also, as they're missing that range DPS.
Trying to target SC with this one. I like this ban a lot more. Sonya and Blaze, frustrating heroes to deal with, especially Blaze when you're running the Tracer, but take that Hanzo away. ETC ban here limits the effectiveness of Tracer in the early game. I don't think KSV Black will take their solo laner here. Probably see them take their main support and their probably their their main tank. And they'll want to flex the solo laner here because KSV Black has run this map multiple times without a traditional solo laner. Sometimes the solo laner has been Junkrat, which could be an option with other Tracer compositions, but not with this one because they already have Tassadar. So what they're going to run with this solo laner, I feel like, is going to be an intentional losing matchup against whatever Ballistix runs in the lane.
Maybe just try to control the wave clear a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Hiding that for the last one. They're bringing Johanna as a safe pick against all the CC that could come out.
Yeah.
Liking that pick. I have a feeling that for the last one will be just the false stat.
Could be. They don't need a melee solo laner. They don't need a melee tank solo laner.
When they can always just have a 4-man and have a global onto the other side.
And let's not forget that Kocha has spent many years playing the Flex Falstad, Flex Tassadar, because there's a lot of different ways they can flex this without having a melee solo laner.
Also Sake.
Sake as well. Very true. So, no matter what, KSV Black can kind of break the rules of drafting based on the roles here and this map. They've done it many times. Ballistix, they can't run the Genji here. It's not going to work. What do they run? What do they bring with this? Is it just going to be the Junkrat for the mega combo? It feels too obvious. And they tick down to the last seconds with this comp where they pick 3 heroes that supposedly have no counter. Well, their draft looks lopsided now, as Genji doesn't pair with this Maiev cage that they worked so hard to protect with the Stukov and Tyrael pick. Sonya does work well in this environment. Now maybe as KSV Black, you just, if you want to have a normal solo laner, you just pick a losing matchup to Sonya, have Tracer rotate up, look for pulse bomb kills, and try to dominate the early game that way because you lost the ETC.
Hey, KSV Black has an Overwatch hero. Why not? Us. We should also pick up one. There's Genji. Much damage onto the focusing. It seems like they're going for the wombo combo, but there's not really much of a pair up. And they can actually focus target with Sonya and Genji. I actually like this adjustment. They're not really putting 100% on one chance only, but they're having somewhat of a balance, getting that wave clear, also having rotation with the utility. Stukov can just stay on the side and provide healing and provide that silence. This is a different type of draft.
No traditional solo laner. It is going to be exactly as you say, a different type of draft. This is going to be Tassadar roaming around, Rich roaming around, resets on the Phoenix. Very different draft here. Only KSV Black is saying, I don't need the Sonya, I don't need the Dahaka, I don't need the Leoric. I run this map without a melee solo laner. We do ranged, we rotate, we don't have a fixed solo laner on this map. The distance between lanes is too small. Why would we run that when we have the ability to just push, dominate the early game, have insane wave clear? Their wave clear is off the charts. Tassadar, Tracer, Rhaegar, Johanna, Phoenix, are you kidding me?
Did you just put in Tracer?
No, I misspoke on the Tracer.
I heard that. Yes.
Tassadar, Rhaegar, Johanna, and Phoenix. Tracer is going to look for kills while they're rotating and doing this.
So I think maybe if they have a 5-man push, it will be insanely powered. And also with just the 4-man, Tassadar can just be the solo lane in that case, just having the wave clear. So this will work on this rotation, as they're moving away from that traditional solo lane on this map only. Ballistix, of course, having that Sonya will empower, which will just force the KSV Black to rotate. But as long as that's stopped, as long as Black can limit that from happening, I think they're all good to go until level 10.
Well, notice that Ballistix is trying to stagger this wave here because they don't want to end up having a bad trade in the early part of the map. They want to have this...
The micro control of the minions.
They want to have this minions pushed on their side of the map so they don't have to extend as far to get this experience. Tether going to grab Rich here. He's the focus.
But he's not on the silence, but gets Phoenix
They get
regardless.
Phoenix.
That's more, gets a reset onto the Swift Strike SC takes care of too.
That was a bit greedy by Rich. He actually used his recall very late. So when he recalled, he actually went back to a similar location to where he was before. Had he recalled immediately, he would have had, because recall's time-based, it would have had a position closer towards the wall there. So this is a huge win for Ballistix to start things off. Remember, this is their first time playing this map this season. 0 stats on it, whereas KSV Black's at 6-1. It's a comfortable map for them where they've had this flexibility with solo laning for a while. And those are set up, it's 2-1-2. So forcing Ballistix to kind of use the Sonya as a camp clearer because she can't do anything in the solo lane. Because the solo lane, according to KSV Black, doesn't exist.
And they bought a lot of time from that 2 kills. They want to use that at least, not just try to push the other lane. They have siege, but to maximize their siege, they want to make it a later push with the Sonya, with the Genji. And they also have Tyrael for that shielding amount. The rethinking in the macro in terms. Maybe looking for a longer game as KSV Black will have so much wave clear at the beginning.
Pulse Bomb going to totally wreck that Wizard minion. Meanwhile, they are going to look for this wall here. Rich going to help slow this push down here with that Pulse, even though that wasn't his plan. They're going to get the Wizard minion pretty quick here, which will stop everybody from going up. But this control of the camps means that even though KSV Black has the better wave clear, the camps do more. And end up getting most of this wall. Ballistix is half a level ahead right now, have the level 4 advantage.
Because they started that early, they wanted to make that maximum push so that they have an open space. Because they kind of lack in the wave compared to KSV Black.
Again, we are going to see the shield speed coming through from reset. This is a map where you certainly, or not the map, well, map plus the composition, but against what Ballistix is running, you could have gone for the warp conduit, but just playing it safe right now, especially after getting picked twice. Just don't want to take any unnecessary risks.
And Stukov's silence is a scary thing for KSV Black. Phoenix, warp will be silenced, recall will be silenced, shift from Taster will be silenced. They have 3 big targets that silence could hurt so much when they want to escape. So it's all in Magi's hand, I think. Of course, lots of DPS damage, but once that silence hits one of those targets, we'll secure the kill very likely.
Very much a lot of pressure committed to Phoenix here, so he can't really push the lane. Ballistix is basically just saying, I know you've got wave clear, but if you try to use it, we will punish you. We will find those picks. As they show themselves in mid use all their cooldowns, that's when Reset pokes his head out again in the bot lane to actually get that soak. Very careful here is Reset to make sure that, that he's safe while doing this. Look at this. As soon as they move down, he goes right back to the middle of the lane to where he can use his escape. They force him to warp, as you can see here. Turn-in's controlled by KSV Black right now, again, with that wave clear. And they've caught up with experience. SC's going to sneak one in. But it doesn't matter, because this is going to be the full turn-in now for KSV Black. Hooligan eats a lot of damage.
I think Reset got the last turn onto the top one. And this is a troublesome tactic for Ballistix. They were supposed to stop that from happening.
Yeah, they were
because they had Genji, they had lots of utility, and the poking damage.
They were focused on turning in, but didn't know where KSV Black was, and so they just missed out on denying that turn-in, as you say.
It all comes from the wave clear. It seems very basic, but starting from the draft, on this map especially, you have to be thinking of that. The speed, how much you can push that wave from all lanes, to make sure you have a lot more time to turn that in. Ballistix was losing all that from the beginning, even if they got the first 2 kills.
Well, heavy push here in the mid lane. Gonna knock down this cannon tower. Finally catching up in experience. It's KSV Black taking that lead for the first time this game. Ballistix playing it safe. They don't have a lot of range damage, so it's tough to defend these. That's why they need to make sure this is not a back-to-back web of return, and otherwise they're gonna be really severely behind in this game. The only poke they really have is Stukov's silence, Bayev's E. I mean, we're not really talking about a lot of range damage here. So, okay, this is going to be a grab onto Tist. He does have his Iron Skin. He has to avoid the silence, even the totem being put down here to help protect him. Have they overextended though? Rich comes in, gets the pulse on Magi. Magi gets that shield. Recall here with the parting gift. Not going to be enough damage. They're turning on to SDE now. Didn't get any of the kills. SC, they come through here. He gets a reset. They want reset. No pun intended here.
Many resets in this game.
Yeah.
And Sake goes
Sake,
so low!
super low. Survives. They need to turn this into a turn-in, and they will. Double turn-in here would have been disastrous because they just do not have ranged poke against the Web Weavers.
These smalls, it seems like skirmishes, but Rich is not able to find the right target, not able to get the kill. Because if reset was, maybe if he took the level 4 talent where he gets that reset onto warp, maybe he can come in and take the kill and then escape, but it is not the case. And Tracer does not have the most damage by herself alone. In this case, Squidcop can be protected by Tyrael, and Hooligan providing that shield was just enough that Magi can escape from that smoke choke point.
Yeah, it would have been a totally different situation had he died there. It would not have been able to continue to push, not have been able to get the turn in. A lot of poke on the side of KSV Black compared to Ballistix, especially with Phoenix. So this Web Weaver push is going to do a little bit less damage than what the one of KSV Black just did. Another pulse here used on the minion rather than the hero. 10's up for Ballistix. Holding Judgment is Hooligan, but I don't think that's really reasonable given that Cleanse is available here with Rhaegar. For an opportunity, Iron Skin's been used. Tist.
Diving onto Tist. Some damage, even popping the Dragon Blade, but Ancestral connects the Sanctification, perfect place, but they will actually grab that Rhaegar right in between them.
Oh, Rich trying
Also
to come out here.
Got grabbed out of the cave for a second. Oh, look at that.
That's a really good
Wall
force
right
wall.
there.
Reset with the salvos. Everybody slowed. Doing some serious damage here. First kill. Coming up, another force wall here, but they can't capitalize. Kyocha actually needs to be careful. I think he already used his shift. Reset's coming over, though. He wants SC. Salvo was interrupted. He's going to use this damage now. SC still survives. Everyone gets away. What a close game we are watching right now. Lead with kills for Ballistix, though. Getting that pick onto Rhaegar eliminated some of the gems.
Force wall. Interesting, but how he used it in the last team fight, it actually makes a decent amount of sense. Creating a wall for your own defense, making room for an escape, and also trapping the targets down like that. It's a different type of playing Tastar. It used to be Sake most of the time went back in black, but now it's Kyocha. He's very aggressive Tastar compared to Sake. So I think that's just enough for them to get the damage with Phoenix and Tracer for the kill.
There's a trade-off, absolutely, especially in the late game, which I think we are definitely going to, given that only one fort is down in this game. But I think if you can continue to utilize it correctly, it can be a very powerful asset. Reset does get away here before the silence comes down. Meanwhile, we do have that bot push towards the bottom keep, but they need to get over here and deny this turn-in. This will be another Web Weaver push. Psystorm hums through. Force Wall. Force Wall's really good here. There's the cage coming up. Pulse. And that's a dead Maiev. Rich gets the Ancestral. So difficult to hit that. And actually, Johanna survives here. Sanctification going to deny the damage from Purification Salvo. But look at this. This is not a good fight for Ballistix. They need to get out of here. They get the Web Weaver turn in, but they lose the fight.
Very aggressive. Almost a critical mistake by stepping out. I know he wanted to delay because you want to have that turn in secured and hit level 13. Not the most painful death, so I think it's forgivable for Ballistix. It was a sacrifice almost, and KSV Black, they almost lost Rich in that case. Now maybe a second late recall could have been a trade.
Yeah.
This is definitely a very close game. How Ballistix running this.
The one fight means that KSV Black against no range damage from Ballistix can keep all the keeps all the forts alive. And they really made this turn in quite wasteful. It just wasn't very effective. It's required by Ballistix to get that turn, otherwise they would have been, after losing that fight, really rolled over. We would have seen probably another fort death, but KSV Black controls that last fight, gets them set up to waste the Web Weavers, and I'm sure we're going to see maybe one wave here, not even from this Web Weaver Queen, just going to get taken out. They have enough for a turn-in now. They did before, but they were zoned out. They've got good wave clear. I noticed their approach here. Looking for picks to grab a turn-in. SC is the target here, trying to force a deflect so that Rich can pulse him. What they're always trying to do is focus SC so that he deflects early.
So Reset is caught alone. Does he not have warp? The silence is... I think it was interrupted. There's a sanctification. And Reset is alone. Does not have the warp, but will go down.
Yep, trying to do that, make it a trade, trying to do as much damage as possible there. Just cannot make it happen. Warp just interrupted, as you say, and going to be a big deep dive here. SC is going to get out, though. They're going to get a kill. Here's the cage coming up. Silence! Hooligans in there. They want Sake. He's going into wolf form, running around this fort, but SC's on him. Pulse bomb denied by that deflect, and SC carries this fight. It is going to be a trade with Hooligan, but it's a 3-for-1 in favor of Ballistix. They are bringing this map back, and they've got another turn-in ready now. 64 gems held.
Oh man, how Ballistix is pushing this one out. It seems almost too aggressive. All the way into the back line, but they're making it work. They know exactly what the cooldowns on each skills are. Reset survived. Surprisingly, he survived for a long time, but ended up going down, of course. Maybe Black, even though you think you can snipe onto one, Tracer, I know, Rich, you always want to snipe onto a target and get the kill with the pulse bomb, but onto a Genji, that was just looking for some luck.
Really risky when he's got the deflect. Reset as well, I assume that the silence just prevented him from using his warp or his warp, so he didn't actually get to escape there.
I think he used it to escape to the choke point and then had it on the cooldown for a long time.
Yeah, could have been that as well. Either way, just not having that there, Ballistix knowing that and punishing. This is going to be level 16. This could be a keep if they get any kills. This is not about the lack of soul laner. This is not about wave clear. This is really just about Ballistix coordinating against these very squishy DPSs. And the double support here is just not really working out when you have to protect two targets at once, the Phoenix and the Tracer. Rich has not had the greatest pulse bombs tonight either. Missing several times, hitting minions or web weavers. They cannot allow Ballistix to easily just take this camp and get another web weaver turn in. This camp is going to allow them so much time to farm more gems. Reset's moved up to the top lane to soak that, so they can try to catch up to 16, but they're just letting this camp go, letting this push happen. If they lose this keep, they may never get that web weaver turn they've been holding on to for so long.
It's really tough because Ballistix, they got all the protection. Look at that silence on the Tracer now.
Yeah. Almost holy grounding Rich out of the fight. Purification Salvo is going to hit a lot of members here, but it's mostly mitigated by that Tyrael shield.
Exactly. And when that's not available, Hooligan has been dropping Sanctification. They have so many tools to neglect all the damage coming out. Of course, Salvo, not the longest cooldown. At Black, they have to be managing to bring some HP down on a single target for Tracer to get the kill. Unless that happens, they can't really win the team fight. It's really hard because they're relying on Tracer way too much.
Yeah, and they have Silence on the other side. I thought Rich is going to have to be ancestral before a real team fight breaks out. They have the ability to dodge this with Sank, with shields, with deflect, and with the Warden's Vault. So they have a lot of different ways to make sure that Pulse Bomb doesn't actually blow anybody up. And they've been doing such a good job at preventing Rich from really being valuable on this Tracer.
And I see always trying to flank from over the wall. The moment they see the E coming around, KSV Black, they say, whoa, hold on. We don't want to be grabbed and caged right here.
Yeah.
So forcing the rotation back a little bit and delaying the movement from happening, and that's how Ballistix is controlling right now.
Hooligan, I think, was Pulse there. Yeah, they committed to the Pulse off screen. We didn't have it, T-Tors, but he ended up surviving just fine. So it's another Pulse Bomb for Rich that just totally wasted here. Now they're going for the chase. Just using this shield glare to dismount people so that they can't actually sneak their way in. Jungle's just prepping waves. Notice how he's willing to pop his heroic and go in for a fight as soon as the rotation he walks away, but he's prepping waves because they want to get that keep down. They want to wear it down. They're so close to another turn-in right now. Two turn-ins ahead currently.
They need their team more, though. They need to buy some time and make sure they pick up those gems, as Jungha is just getting those two right now. Never mind, he won't really risk it. Cost his own life for that. Rich is holding in 38. Not really able to turn that in almost, but right now he is getting that. They're just buying time.
Reset here does survive. They get the turn-in. Finally. They're going to have to use this turn-in realistically mostly for just soaking. catching up in experience. Ballistix is looking for a fight before these web weavers even spawn. With the waves here, sure, the bot wave is pushed, so it could go to the keep, but realistically what this normally means when you have a wave that's pushed when your other two are not, is that wave weaver just dies first and doesn't actually do anything for you. It's actually the ones like the top lane one that can really be effective after you commit to mid. So KSV Black is actually using this web weaver push to its full potential here, but the potential is not very high.
They have to bring all the wave clear. So Sonya comes flanking from the side, dodges the
reset,
silence.
Grabbed here after using warp. Sanctification a little bit early, but does give a little bit more movement speed here. SC wants to kill onto Rich. Rich just trading this out. He's got the pulse bomb now. Fort goes down. Top web weaver push is now where they want to be. They want to catch up in experience. They want to eliminate these forts. Rich is up there, looking for an angle for a potential pulse bomb. Force wall to deny the flank. Bot web weaver is going to force some attention away. They're going to look for the keep wall now. They have done, you know, a decent amount of damage with this push because they have more siege damage than Ballistix does. Remember, we talked about this earlier. Ballistix doesn't have much to deny with, so when you've got this really cool formation for KSV Black, Ballistix has to either dive in or just accept losing structures. Are they going to be able to get the double? They're rotating over here, looking for the turn-in.
10 more seconds on 2. A turn in from KSV Black. They are using that force wall to create that range so that they can do the maximum amount of damage and make sure Ballistic they have to come around or not having that delayed time during the team fight.
Yeah. The satchel not open yet. They couldn't turn in. They come over here and force Ballistic's rotation, as you say. And they don't end up trading out very badly either. Rich actually getting a lot of damage done. SDE already using his Umbral Bind. It's actually an opportunity for a fight here. Pulse actually connects to Hooligan. There's the salvo. Hooligan gets taken out at range here. They're going to disengage against the Tyrael Explosion, but SC, he wants more with his Dragon Blade. He isn't able to get it, though. He gets taken out here by Johanna and Rhaegar. Rich looking for more. The cleanse comes through. He wants to build another pulse bomb. He's got it. He's got the pulse. He's interrupted. Drops it onto Magi.
What happened there? Rich was bumping in and out so badly. Well, still survived, did not get the kill onto Magi, but
the comeback is real.
The comeback is real, and Hooligan, I think the Sanctification was on cooldown, possibly. Maybe he thought he can survive with the shield coming up very soon.
Yeah, it was a tough call to make. They used the Sanctification earlier in that last fight, but I think he should have had it by then. If he uses it there, then they survive, but I think he got greedy. He was hoping that maybe he could survive a second longer with the shield and come in to turn the fight with SC's Dragon Blade, but in fact, he died first. SC's Dragon Blade was wasted. And now KSV Black gets a turn-in plus boss. This should be a keep. They protected all 3 keeps for so long, despite Jungha's best efforts to push the mid-keep, to get those waves prepped, to come in there and turn the map their side. But now both teams have 20, but with this much pressure and the better poke on the side of KSV Black, Ballistix is going to have to use this level 20 advantage and their heroic advantage they should have from that last fight to force a fight under web weavers. If they don't, they will lose more than just 1 keep here. Look at this split pressure from the boss push top and this mid pressure here. KSV Black wants 2 keeps. Ballistix needs to hard engage or they're going to lose them. Look at this. There's just not a lot of range damage on the side of Ballistix. They need to commit.
Hooligan going very low. Even the pulse bomb may be spent for the kill.
Okay, here it comes. Look at that. So much damage coming through.
Hooligan just losing it after that death in the middle.
That's going to be triple keeps, and with these web weavers still alive, this bottom one here, they could try to end, they could try to core.
They're just going all in without Hooligan on 50 seconds. I don't think Ballistix can do it unless they have some major snipe.
Look at Tist doing so much to peel here. The cage coming down, but it only really is on the Sake. Dragon Blade's up here. Sake is just going to walk away. Salvo coming out here. Most of the damage not really connected to Jungha. They make this a trade. SC doing what he can with his 20 Dragon Blade, but he's chased. He's got the deflect. Not going to last very long, and SDE is going to be the last to die here, just trying to buy time. It's not going to be enough. KSV Black going to take this second game, 20 minutes long. Huge comeback here, but they fight for the objectives. They take these defensive fights, and finally, Rich is able to get value on this Tracer. They are now 1 win away from taking the series.
They know exactly who to snipe. Hooligan has been dropping that Sanctification very early, forcing that out, make sure that's on cooldown, and then going in for the kill onto Tracer. They knew that was the problem. When they wanted to snipe in, shields came in all the time. Salvo was basically deleted by that shield. Also, Tracer's pulse bomb not having enough damage because of the shield. Then